where we start to sing a song. And we welcome you to Love Morning and hope you will sure stay. Even if you are pretty sure you know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna talk about gratitude and good things about attitude and how we're all connected in our hearts and through our hands. Dun, 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 dun. And if we share our truth, then we'll feel connected to the youth. And we can join one another and hold each other's hands. Welcome to Love Morning. Yeah, welcome to Love Morning with me. Hi. Good morning. That one was pretty good. I'm going to take a wah, 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 wah and hope that it's actually working and I'm live. So, good day to you. Hello. This is a live Hub morning broadcast. It's an opportunity to share gratitude and to feel connected as we go into our days. It is such a beautiful part of my practice, and I'm so glad that you join me either live or watching this recording. I know a lot of people just kind of see it come up in their feed, and even that, you're like, all right, John's doing Love Morning. Good for him. I guess that's okay too. And I am certainly feeling affirmed in kind of in purpose, after this wonderful weekend when I got to meet Antonia Marquis again and hear that, that this drizzle of love and kindness that I've been trying to do on a daily basis for decades affected her 13 years ago. And then to see that has been a part of the continued growth of her inspiration. That's okay. That's cool. And that's all I got to know. Keep it up. I was just writing this morning. I feel like I got a report card from God this weekend that was like straight A's. Like, good job, John. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning to you. And good morning, Razorblade. And Joyous, good morning. Oh, I am grateful that Lisa got home safe last night from her travels. She had a long drive that was made longer due to a pretty gnarly accident where there was a fatality, and that's always a wake-up call to the dangers of everyday humaning. Everyday life is filled with possible accidents. I generally do not spend a lot of time thinking about those possibilities, knowing that that will be the chapter when and if that is a chapter. And I try to reduce risks a little bit, but not massively. I do not live in I'd say in the minimized risk, slider. I don't maximize. I don't maximize the minimizing of risks. Clear. That was clearly said, John. Well done. Gerbot says, I'm grateful for safety devices that keep us from getting run over. Yes. I would even include pink hair dye, because as you run through the street, nobody runs over the guy with pink hair. Gerbot was referring to the backup beepers that you heard from the trash truck, which I'm also grateful for the removal of trash out of sight and out of mind. But it is nice to not have a mountain of trash in or outside my home. Razorblade is grateful to be back in Sydney so I can celebrate my birthday with loved ones. Nice, happy birthday! When's your birthday? I am a long way from my birthday. Almost as long as you can get. I wonder what my birthday equinox is, or solstice. What is it? What do they call it? Like halfway? My birthday is May 28th. If you want to start shopping, plenty of time. Or if you want to compose like a symphony, plenty of time to complete that project. Ooh, I want to share something. Oh, what did I do with it? Crap, I don't know what I did with it. I had it sitting out for so long, and now I can't share it. Oh well. Did I share with you the trading cards? I got this pack of Burning Man trading cards in the mail, and there's like Crimson Rose is there, and there's Mind Warrior, and then there's Halcyon. I think I did already show you that, but anyway, it's cool. I still have. I wanted to take some pictures of it before I put it away. Maybe even like people display baseball cards, don't they? Like in those like plastic. Maybe I'll get like a acrylic holder. If you looked around my house, you would see that I am not shy about displaying images of myself. That was a big thing when that we joke about, Lisa and I, about. I said, if you move in, we can reduce the number of pictures of me by 5%. Today's your birthday, Razorblade, which for us in the U.S. is tomorrow. But happy birthday! We're celebrating with you because it counts where you are. Because time is arbitrary, but this moment is this moment no matter where you are. So happy birthday. I am so glad that we've had opportunity to connect and get to know each other a little bit better. And there is no greater gift than our authentic truth. Nothing more beautiful than revealing your true self, your goods and bads. Not that you've confessed any bads, but you have showed your heart, and that is a gift to everyone. So thank you for being that in the world. Ooh, the sun is coming out. It's getting brighter. Good thing I got my shade. If you're here, say hello. Share something you're grateful for. Would love to hear what other people are grateful for. I'm grateful for a scheduled meeting with my friends Eric and Tasha today. They're gonna get to meet Lisa. They're a couple that I've known for a long time. Just wonderful people. And you might actually, some people might know Eric Wall. He is a speaker, does these just brilliant keynote talks for companies all over the world. An artist. So I'm looking forward to getting to drop in with him in a few hours, and her. And grateful for I'm grateful that I think I'm on 3 days without having ice cream or dessert at night. Although last night I had oatmeal with raisins for dessert, but I'm not going to count that. I think I'm allowed to have oatmeal and raisins. That's not the same thing as a pint of Ben and Jerry's. So I am grateful for making a step in the direction of less sugar and less impulse or kind of unrestricted non-intentional eating. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning. Gerbot is grateful for time off to prepare for my mom's celebration of life service we're having tomorrow, and for all the friends and family that will be coming to help us celebrate her life. What I don't want to use the wrong word, but what a rich experience that must be, to be so deep in a place of remembrance and in that, super intense place of grief and gratitude, or I don't know, in the stages of grief, you could be anywhere, and it'd be, maybe. But from your speaking, it sounds like you're in a pretty good place about it. But you don't have to be. You can be angry. You can be in denial. You can be any of those things. But it is a very, in the journey, the roller coaster, the ride of life, that is, you are going through one of the more intense chapters that a human has. Loss of a parent. I have not lost either of my parents, so I have not experienced that. So I'm not speaking from any experience or any state of wisdom whatsoever. I am grateful that my parents are around. I was actually thinking yesterday of is there anything that I would regret not doing or asking of them? I moved a bunch of hard drives onto a 16 terabyte hard drive, some older, smaller hard drives. And I have all my video previous to this year, all video and all photos on a single hard drive. And so in the process of doing that, I found a bunch of stuff that I had forgotten. Like an interview that I did with my parents. I found an interview that I totally did not know existed with my grandpa. And so I have been thinking about, and since my friend's father died last week or a week and a half ago, I've been really thinking, like, I wonder how I will respond. I wonder what, I don't know. I don't know. It will happen. So I will be as open to that experience without any rush. Oh, speaking of which, Panos, good morning, brother. I love you. Panos says, yesterday we said our goodbyes to my mom. I'm grateful to hug and kiss her for one last time. My heart felt her love, kindness. It was such a healing experience that will always stay with me. Such a blessing that I was able to feel her love. Well, you said that much better than I could. Thank you, Panos. Gerbot says, yes, it's intense, but I'm doing well. Pierre says, good evening. Grateful for you and your practice, this practice, especially during trying times. Thanks, Pierre. And Gerbot says, all part of the ride, indeed. Yeah, it's been interesting as I've, I'm now living with Lisa, and I have a human being in my life in a interconnected way, deeper than I have maybe ever. And to hear her reflections on the stability of my mental state, my spiritual state, and how stable she sees me, is really kind of it's a comforting thing. I don't think I would have always described myself that. And in fact, as I look at old Facebook, I certainly fluctuated quite a bit in joy and despair. And in fact, last night, Lisa was talking about how she was doing some counseling with someone and who was going through a really tough time. And we were talking about how sometimes when you're in a period of really intense growth, and she was talking about that, and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know if I ever know that I'm in an experience of intense growth. I just, every once in a while, will recognize, oh, I would not have handled this so well a couple years ago. And I guess the work is working. Rachel says, I am grateful for driving around the Dido and listening to this love hug. Respect and honor to your mother's celebration of life. Razorblade says, I love the idea of a celebration of life. I hope you have a lot of family support, and you have us. I love celebrations of life too. When I was younger, I didn't go to a funeral or a celebration of life until I was probably 30. I didn't know too many people that died, and nobody close enough that I feel like I had to go. I did have a high school friend, but I didn't. Did I go? Maybe I did go. But in general, I did not feel called to, and I had anxiety around it. I did not like the idea of getting together and mourning. And my attitudes about mourning and celebrations of life has changed dramatically. One, I'm now so pro mourning. Not mourning like love mourning, like M-O-U-R, like grieving and expressing it and feeling it. And one of the powerful teachings and experiences of Burning Man is the temple, where it is totally acceptable to wail and grieve, and however that comes out for you, which I don't think is fully embraced in many traditions. That's one thing I don't like about going to a church service. You know, there's kind of like a sniffling and passing of tissues. In the church services I've gone to, I've heard that different cultures have more dramatic ones. In fact, I just started watching 6 Feet Under, old HBO show. It's on Netflix now. I never watched it. Lisa said it's one of her favorites, so I've started watching it. And there's, in the first season, one of the brothers in the film talks about how he witnessed a funeral in another country and saw the relatives just wailing and losing control and screaming and pounding, and he was, at the time, he was kind of like embarrassed for them, and I was like, I think that's the way to do it, And then, so I won't give away the show. Spoiler alert, people die in that show. It's about people who run a funeral home. So, anyway, so that's one part I really love about, I think that the process of mourning is not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. It's an intense thing. And it is a thing that happens. It's like, if you're going to be angry when it gets dark every night, you're going to be fucking angry every day. Because guess what? Sun goes down every night. If you're going to be like, why every time someone dies, you're going to have a lot of experiences saying why. And so understand it's part of it. Losing people is part of life, and grieving and experiencing and and you don't have control of it. It is not a practiced, composed process. It is a release. It is an allowing of feeling and emotion. It's like if you are trying to orgasm in a certain way, in a certain position, and make a certain sound, I guarantee you are not having profound, enjoyable, at the level of climaxes that you could. And I think grieving is similar. It is primal. It is not to be controlled or scripted. It is to be revered and allowed. And the other thing that I enjoy about celebrations of life is getting to hear about aspects of a human that I did not know. It is clearer and clearer to me that while connecting with fellow human beings is the deepest treasures of a human lifetime, we only really connect in very little surface ways with almost everyone. If you have a life partner, it gets deeper, but our experiences are pretty personal. And so when you spend years with people, as a brother, as a coworker, as a Burning Man campmate, as child, whatever, you experience them from that role. And then the celebration of life you often hear people tell stories of the way they were in a different role. And so hearing about the Eagle Scout experiences of my friend Nick, when I knew him as this raging burner, was so amazing. And hearing about the bond he had with his family, and it's just like, oh my gosh, these are the most beautiful thing is who we authentically are. And when you get to see the facets of the jewel shining in all these different ways, I mean, it's sad because the jewel's not there, but it's almost impossible to see that many facets of a human being while they're alive. And it's only in coming together when all the light that is shined from them over their lifetime comes back together to reminisce and to share that light, that you go, whoa, look at this prism. Man, how cool. Well done. I love that. Juan says, grateful that I joined you today. Gearbot says, amen. Gearbot says, thanks for sharing that perspective. I'm working on preparing some words today, and this will help me with that. Awesome, Gearbot. I had, I've only led, is that right? Well, I led a celebration of life a couple years ago, and it was, some people that went felt like I did a great job. I don't feel like I did the best job. I think that's a very difficult task to kind of contain the experiences of vastly different people with vastly different spiritualities and vast different relationships to the person who's passed. And I think that I infuse a little too much of my spirituality. I mean, I guess that's what a church does. If you go to church, the minister says Christian things about death and they're in a better place now and stuff like that. So I didn't say that, but I did speak about the different, that we grieve as living, but there is nothing scary about death. I don't know if I quoted him, but I think, Ram Dass said something. No, it was Emmanuel told Ram Dass, I believe. Maybe Ram Dass is involved. Emmanuel, this channeled being, said that death is like taking off a tight shoe, a painfully tight shoe. That's what death is like. And I think that I was a little too, I didn't honor the pain that people were going through enough. Partially because the person that passed died from an unintentional overdose from fentanyl. And there was a lot of anger and pain and guilt amongst friends. And so that was a more difficult celebration of life for me to enjoy, because I didn't feel like inner critic, always more critical of yourself, I'm sure. But we have a few more minutes to share any more gratitude, if anyone wants to share some gratitude. Gratitude about someone that has passed or someone in your life. I'm grateful that I got to see my brother this weekend. He came down to First Saturdays, brought my nephew. And I'm so grateful for my relationship with my brother. He's just so fun and funny, and he has vastly improved my life. Joy says, I'm grateful for this practice, especially on the days it feels hard to find my cones. Grateful for yoga, tea, and gratitude practices. Gearbot says, I'm grateful for everyone here. Thanks, Gearbot. And thanks for everyone who was here. Thanks for this anchoring practice of gratitude and connection. Let me just plant a seed. I'm trying to commit to doing a live weekend retreat. Could be just a day, but a day or two retreat in San Diego in January. So feel free to keep asking me about that. I haven't decided on the date, but I've been afraid to kind of commit. But I also know that until I put a date down, I'm not gonna, But it's clear to me that it's something I want to do. It'll be like the Pink Path, but over a weekend as opposed to one day a week over weeks, which I've tried and I like, but I want to try making it more of a connecting experience for the people that are doing it, where we, stay in the energy and the vibe without going back to our lives and back to our kids and back to our jobs and then try to return after doing the assignments. So that will be in January. So if that's interesting to you, or you know someone who would think, you know what, this person should spend a weekend with John, I will keep you more information soon. Juan says, don't be afraid, we need it. And Razorblade says, I am grateful for my mom. She's an amazing person, like a best friend. That is the best. I'm so grateful that I have a relationship with my parents that are so harmonious. And grateful for all the work that they did and the compromises and the ability to let go of their expectations and scripts of what a son should be so that they could get to a place where they love me as I am. And vice versa. So, Joy's reminding us to vote if your town is voting today. Thank you. Awesome, Rachel. All right, well, I will stay in touch. And if you're not on my mailing list, I will definitely be announcing it there. You can get to my mailing list at johnstin.com. There's a link to it. Which, by the way, I'm going to send a note to my mailing list today, I think. Not about this, but about, I don't know if you saw, I made the video of meeting Antonia Marquis, and it was just like super profound. I've talked about it here, but I made a kind of a cool video about it. So I'm writing it up as something to my mailing list. But I will definitely be telling that mailing list about upcoming January stuff, live stuff. Thank you, Rachel, for the vote of confidence. So, as we approach half past, wherever you are, give yourself a big squeeze. Appreciating this body, appreciating this moment, appreciating this connection, appreciating the preciousness of each moment and the ripples we put in the world, the ripples that have impacted us. Allowing whatever comes through, allowing a unrehearsed expression of our emotions to guide us at times, trusting that our authentic selves has roots in the divine. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and you, thanks for being here for this Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. I'm going to miss gratitude at noon today because I'm going to be meeting up with those friends, but I wish everyone well who might be there at noon, and I plan to see you at 6 p.m. tonight. And hello, Zoe. Good morning. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, Rachel says I'm Substacked up. Boom. Substack is what I use as a mailing list. Cool. See you soon. Love you.